Hi, everybody. It's Steve Grady from Steve Grady Insurance Services. And today we're going to talk to TASC. And a good friend of mine, Barbara, is here to talk about what's going on with TASC and some of the offerings they have. So how are you, my friend? What's going on?
I'm doing good. It's craziness, but it's doing good, living day by day.
I know. I can't believe we've been
It's running into weeks.
I know. I mean, here we are shut down again. I can't even believe it. I'm freaking out, but whatever. So why don't you give us a
I don't
little
have to
background?
drive.
Yeah, I know. Why don't you give us a little background of who you are, what you do, and then maybe we can go through some of these cool reimbursement accounts and some of the offerings that TASC offers.
Absolutely. So, like you said, Barbara Ciudad with TASC. I've been with TASC for over 12 years, which is crazy to think about.
Wow, that's
I
crazy.
know. 12 years doing all kinds of different things. And right now I'm the regional sales director for the San Diego territory. So I cover from the border all the way up to where it ends and when
Okay,
it starts to hit Orange County.
very cool.
But yeah, I love what I do. It's fun to help companies and clients and help their employees create some really unique offerings.
Cool. So what do you do so people out there in Zoom world knows what you do?
So I consult with agents, insurance agents, brokers, and all the different carriers and come up with unique benefit account offerings that they can help their employees with. Things that are outside the regular, everybody wants to offer medical, dental, vision,
Right.
all of those things. But this allows us to get some new and diverse accounts. Some are pre-tax that benefit the employees, some aren't. And then, of course, we help companies and corporations be compliant because you can't just offer these things without thinking about what the government wants you to do.
Yes, compliance is very important in our world of insurance. So,
Exactly.
okay, cool. So I know you have some cool programs you wanted to chat about. Why don't we just get right into it?
Okay. So some of the unique accounts that we talk a lot about right now, especially
Okay.
right now, the biggest one is, as we all know, employees are working remotely, right?
Yeah,
Employees
totally.
that would go 8 to 5 to their office now are trying to figure 8 to 5 out in their house,
Absolutely.
with kids and dogs and all the other things.
Yeah.
And a lot of them weren't set up for that. They don't have computers, they don't have office equipment. And so a lot of companies are using TASC to set up reimbursement accounts where they fund an account to help employees pay for those home office expenses.
Awesome.
Some still have to print things. You need pens. I mean, you don't really need Post-its. Who needs Post-its anymore? But
Right.
still, there's office supplies that you need: a screen, a computer,
Right.
maybe a new mouse, whatever it is. So an employer can designate those types of expenses to help them out.
Okay, cool. So what, just for my own personal, what are you seeing like employers contributing towards these type of accounts now that we're kind of in lockdown again, or we have been in lockdown? What's kind of the average, just so
The
any employer?
average is $50 to $100 a month. It depends on
Okay.
what you're doing, right? If you're doing a lot of printing and sending things out, if you're a print company, you obviously have to ship things to different clients or customers. That's included. But on an average, about 50. Some employers do a little bit more because they also include, they're not having to worry about parking, for example. So
Yeah,
what are
right.
they doing? They're reimbursing for maybe some of their internet or maybe some of a higher bandwidth for their Wi-Fi because
Yeah.
now they have to connect to a server.
Yeah, I had to do that here at my house. So yeah,
Yeah.
I maxed out on the bandwidth. So that's
Yeah,
awesome.
so things like that are a factor.
Okay, cool. What else did you were saying? I'm really interested in like the wellness reimbursement and the student loan tuition reimbursement. How does that work?
Yes.
Yes.
So, yes. So even before the pandemic, employers were trying to find different ways to attract and retain employees. And just because the pandemic has hit doesn't mean that's changed.
Right.
So it's really hard to find employees that are looking at different employers and trying to figure out which one they're going to go with. And benefits play a big factor in that. And so a differentiator for a company is maybe offering a tuition reimbursement type of account. Again, employer funded, where they give the employees maybe $500 to $1,000 for student loans for the year.
Okay.
Which for someone who owns student loans can be significant. That's
Absolutely.
$200 to $300 you're not paying each month.
Right.
And then
I think
tuition
everybody has a
reimbursement.
student loan these days too.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And then tuition reimbursement is that they have for example, I had an engineering company. They wanted to get their employees to take certain courses to improve their position and what they were doing. So they let them take courses, and once they pass the course with a certain passing grade, they would reimburse them for some of the tuition.
Awesome. That is sweet.
Yeah, so it's some
So
interesting things.
So I preach all the time, wellness, 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 especially in this day and age. What's that reimbursement about?
Wellness could be anything. It could be as broad as setting up an account where, you probably have seen this, and a lot of big brokers do, where carriers will say you go get your annual checkup and you
Right.
get something out of it, right?
$50 or something,
Yeah, it's taking that to kind of a little bit farther and saying if you go enroll into a wellness program, whether that's a gym membership, a yoga class, I mean, not right now, but whatever the gym wellness looks like for you, program of some kind, the employer will, it's like offering a $25 towards a gym membership in some cases.
No, it's perfect. It's perfect. Okay, cool. So one crazy one, and I have one of my groups that we actually sell this product to, is pet insurance. And you were telling me about pet insurance reimbursement. Is that what I'm seeing?
Yeah, there's pet insurance and pet care. So
nuts.
I don't remember if we've ever talked to this, but I have quite a few dogs. So I have my own shelter.
Yes.
So I'm a big advocate for this.
Okay.
A lot of employers do like group policies, but if they don't want to do that, they can set up an account where they give everybody $20 a month towards pet insurance, and allows the employees to go find whatever insurance fits their needs. If they have a senior dog and they want a certain policy, if they don't like a certain location, they're not forced into a particular insurance.
That's awesome.
So they get reimbursed for whatever they want to do. And then pet care is for care of a pet, and it's not just dogs, cats, horses, rabbits, it doesn't matter.
Any animal. My daughter has a hamster. My daughter has a hamster. Is that?
Hamster works, but I don't think you're going to go to the vet on a regular basis.
No, we're not. $15 hamster named Pumpkin? No. Okay. What other kinds of other accounts can you kind of run by us? And then I want to talk about kind of implementation and how you guys work.
There's really the great thing about TASC's platform, it's called the Universal Benefit Account Platform.
Okay.
But the idea is we have over 31 different types of accounts. So we're not going to go through all of them, obviously, today.
Right.
But the idea is if you have something you're reimbursing an employee for or something, let me know, because that's what I'm here for, is to say, hey, what are you doing? What can we take off your plate that we can admin for you and make it better?
Awesome.
And we can build a lot of accounts.
So you can do like a customized program?
Yeah, so it all functions the same, right? You're putting money for an employee, there's a reimbursement and payout of some kind, the general process that can fit anything.
So thinking as an employer, what's the benefits for the employer? I mean, is a lot of this tax deferred, tax deductible, or it just depends on the account?
It depends on the account. Like to a student loan up to, I think it's $5,120 there's tax incentive for that. So there's certain parameters of different accounts.
Okay.
So it just depends on what you're looking at. Some are more employer focused taxes, employees have some advantage, but it just depends on the account.
Okay, cool. So how does TASC say I'm a Mr. Employer here, I want to buy, say, a few reimbursement accounts or set them up. What is your process? And then how is it user-friendly with the employees and all that?
Right. So once we usually ask for, a lead time. We all know how much a lead time we like in this industry.
So what is your lead time?
Lead time is recommended 30 days. However, we all know that doesn't always happen.
Okay.
But 30 days is ideal. And we take that time to set up the account, implement it, set out, all the welcome stuff that everything goes to. And the implementation goes really smoothly, and I'm here during the whole process to help them. So if they need help, our customer care is really involved in making sure that they know how to walk through their account, employees get access, all of that. So we ask for a 30-day implementation to make sure that it goes through those necessary steps.
I love the fact that you're really hands-on. I'm a really hands-on broker too, and it's so important these days. Especially with technology, everything's online, which is great. But I still think, you still need that human touch and people helping.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I'm not the type of rep that just says, here's the paperwork, thanks, goodbye. I like to make sure that you do it, because if you do it now, I'd rather be proactive than reactive, like I like to say.
I like that.
Trying to make sure I'm ahead of it so that it's all set up on the front end.
Very cool. And then once the group's implemented, how do people fund the accounts? How does that work? Just for Mr. Employer out there.
Yeah, so the employer really gets to determine the funding for most of these accounts. They can do period, they can do a schedule, they can do half up front, half later. It really depends on the account, but it's really employer focused because it's employer money. And all of these accounts, most of these accounts, remember, if they don't use that money, those employer, it just goes back to the employer. It's not lost. So it's really up to the employee to
Okay, so
utilize
it is
it.
kind of a use it or lose it thing
Yeah,
for.
exactly,
Okay.
exactly. It's not like the standard FSAs that many are familiar with carryover. So,
Okay.
um,
So I just lost my thought, but
it's okay. I do it all the time recently.
yeah. So is it is it most of these are plan year or calendar year?
Some of them we recommend the calendar year just
Okay.
because it's easier to track. But they can fit really any plan, and they just need calendar year is the easiest to follow. If you can do that, I highly recommend it because if your benefits go that way, it works.
Yeah.
But not to say you couldn't use have for those some of the ones that are tax deferred tax, taxes are calendar year, so
Yeah, totally.
it's easier to do those plans that way.
All right. This is awesome. I'm glad you came on my show today.
Your show, the new Steve Grady show.
From my couch here. I mean, this is the only time I get dressed up these days.
I know, right?
Is there one last nugget you want to leave us with?
My last nugget is really, really think about when you're talking to your clients, especially for agents and brokers, don't just don't try not to let clients just, renew as is because of the time and everything that's going on. Really say, let's look at something really unique. If ever there's a time to think out of the box, now is it. So
Right.
you really want to give your clients something different. Now's the best time to do it because most employers are open to it. Most employees are expecting it. So definitely dive a little bit deeper.
All right. Well, awesome. Thanks for coming on. And
Yeah, no problem.
if anybody wants more information from TASC, you can obviously contact me. You can always talk to Barbara too. So thank you again for coming on today.
You're welcome. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Oh, my pleasure. Talk to you soon.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.